Ancient marks in Black Beacon are about to make a lot more sense. I'm Shrike, subscribe for more gacha content, let's dive in. Okay, this gear system threw me for a loop. I had never seen anything like it. You place these different shaped pieces into a big grid, rotating and trying to fit as many in as possible. It felt more like a puzzle than a gear system, but after tinkering with it and bugging the folks on Discord, I got much more of a handle on it. First of all, you'll get some marks for free through playing, but in order to farm your own, you need to unlock the Tome of Fate. It's a roguelike mode that if you want, I'll go into more detail on in another video, but you have to clear that and it gives you chests, which then give you currency that you actually take to a Fate shop and literally buy the marks you want. It's not like other games where you just get random pieces from clearing the stage. The substat on the piece will be random, but each one has only one stat to start off with, so it's much easier to RNG the one you want. As you can see just by scrolling through the shop, there's not multiple pieces that form a set like in many games. They're all individual, though some can share a shape, but they'll have a different name and thus a different... They call it a set bonus, but that confused me because a set by definition requires multiple of something, so more of a mark bonus. The marks come in a few sizes. The big ones all take 10 slots, and those will be the strongest obviously. And then there's some that take up 5, and then 3, and then there's a 1 mark for those of you that miscounted and have a spot left open. Ideally, you never want to use this one. Although I guarantee someone's going to come up with some broken build using only 1 pieces with crazy stats. But let's take Locked Flood Dragon for instance. You'll see here that it has the same shape as Solar Corona, but they have different mark bonuses. And Nourishing Wings also takes up 10 slots, but in a different shape. I'm going to let the big brains in the community come up with the exact, most efficient sizes, shapes, location, and angles. Yes, you can also rotate them by placing them down and then clicking them again. But I will say that a lot of people have been running 2 10 pieces and 3 3 pieces, or a 10 piece, 2 5 pieces, and 2 3 pieces. Basically just has to add up to 29. 29 is your magic number, so you math heads will have some fun with this, no doubt. What's more important to know is that you only need 1 piece with a mark bonus to activate its bonus, but there are some that don't have bonuses, and they'll only have the RNG stat that generates when purchased. The 3 marks and the 1 mark don't have a bonus. But going back to the grid, you've got 29 hexes here, like I said, and that's why the number has to add up to 29. And you want to use up every one of them to be the most efficient. Let's talk about upgrading now. This part is actually pretty simple. They don't level in your typical fashion. It's more akin to ranks. You use duplicate pieces, so pieces of the same name, to rank them up. You start at blue with 1 stat, and you rank up to purple, then gold. But when you rank them up, you're actually adding the stat of the material piece used onto the new piece. So the purples will have 2 stats, and the gold will have 3. This system makes gearing in the game super customizable, and will be a huge relief to anyone who's played games where you grind for a week and get this beautiful piece that rolls 4 perfect rolls and then 1 crappy roll. Important note though, multiples of the same stat will not stack on the same piece, but they will stack as a whole if on a separate piece. With the exception of mark bonuses. You can't have 2 of the same and have the innate bonuses stack. Sometimes though, you won't have the perfect piece to add, but you still want to upgrade your piece. Well, there's even a way to select a specific stat from a piece and change it to the exact stat you want, using the re-engrave feature. This will cost chisels, which are super rare of course, but is actually one of the best reasons to grab the battle pass because it gives you some. I'm sure they'll have these as rewards in events or something in the future, because locking these tools behind a paywall wouldn't be very free-to-play friendly of them, and they are ex-Kuro devs, so I wouldn't expect quite that level of greed. Although I mean, if you just get the piece right the first time, you won't need chisels, but I don't know. I'd still like other ways to get them. But that's just a brief overview of ancient marks. I know everyone's wondering exactly what marks and what stats to put on each character, and I've started compiling a list, but it's far from finished. I'm currently tinkering with Lai Cha, but he's not quite done yet, but I think I know the direction I want to go with him. I just don't have the pieces. Though the build I want does differ from what the big heads in the community suggest. But once I'm confident in a particular character's build, I'll make a guide for them with their best marks, important stats, skill level up priority, and then run through their ideal skill rotations. If there's a particular character you'd like me to look at first, let me know in the comments. And with that being said, I'm gonna fly. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.